There are those who say that you, more than anything else in the world.
Are you talking to me for now with the cameras? Are they on?
Yeah, they just went on. That you would like to be a Frank Sinatra kind of singer, better than anything in your career.
If I had my way, I think that more than anything I would have wanted to have become a saloon singer like Frank Sinatra. But unfortunately, I missed that by about 1,000 miles. So I became a Jewish comic / lace salesman, filmmaker. The lace salesman you didn't know about, do you?
No, I didn't.
I go to Belgium 4 times a year. I'm into flax. I'm heavily into flax. I love flax. I'll tell you about it. But I do like flax.
Have you ever been a salesman? I mean, have you ever done things like that?
No, I used to go to the post office for my first boss, Sam Rothman, for Abilene Blouse and Dress Company. When I worked for him in the garment center in New York on 7th Avenue, Abilene, I said, gee, what an exotic name, Abilene. It's Texas, and why would a little Jew from just left of Warsaw come up with a groovy name like Abilene, you know? So I said, Mr. Rothman, he said, yes. Yeah, who's calling? Who that? I said, it's me, Mr. Rothman, the new boy, Melvin. Melvin. Oh, yes, Melvin. Melbmnn. Melvin. He said, Melvin, what do you want? Why are you a mosquito? What do you want from me? I said, I just have to ask you one question, sir. Why would a Jewish person from 40 kilometers outside of Warsaw choose for the name of his company the Abilene Blouse and Dress Company? Where did you get Abilene from? He said, well, from my son, Abby, and my daughter, Lena. Abilene. You know, you can't beat Jews. You can't. First of all, if you try to hit them, they're too short, you know.
Yeah.
But Jews are wonderful. I'll tell you. Let me tell you about Jews.
Tell me about Jews.
Well, first you take 2 triangles, you make them opposite, and boom, you got your 6 points there. But it's the Jews tell the best simple stories, simple comedy stories. When I worked in the mountains in the Borscht Belt, you know.
Which places?
I used to work. Well, I ended up being the social director at Grossinger's in the main room. Yeah,
Grossinger's Concord.
100 a week, all you can eat.
Yeah.
I ate with the guests.
Did you?
Oh, that's big stuff.
And socialized?
Every comic said, if I don't, it's in the contract. I eat with the guests. It's a foolish. They didn't want to eat with the staff, you know, with the Cuban busboys. They didn't want. So they wanted to eat with the guests. Anyway, I ate with the guests. I finally managed to eat with the guests. And then I was drafted, and I was sent overseas, and I ate with the Germans for 2 years. But getting back to Jewish stories, the Jews really are funny. The first Jewish story that was really Jewish that I heard was a man comes into a grocery store, and he says, I want a half a pound of butter. And the little Jewish grocery man goes into the tub. In those days, it used to be little, and got the butter, put it on some wax paper. And as he was doing that, the man looked around the shop, and he saw 141,000 boxes of salt. On every shelf, there were 10 shelves. Every shelf had a 1 pound box of salt next to each other, and there were about 100,000 boxes of salt. So he said, excuse me, sir, I don't mean to pry, but you have an awful lot of salt in this store. I mean, really a lot of salt. He said, oh, yeah, oh, boy, here we got about 100, sometimes 120,000 boxes salt. He says, well, I don't mean to pry, but how much salt do you sell? Well, to tell you the gall darn honest truth, we go maybe 4 boxes a month, move out. You have 120,000 boxes of salt and you sell 4 boxes a month? I mean, why do you? He says, well, I'll tell you the truth, I don't sell salt well. I'm not a good salt seller. No. But the guy that sells me salt, whoa, can he sell salt? He's a salt seller. That boy can sell salt. That was the first Jewish story. I mean, so that. But when I worked in the mountains,
Funny, man.
I worked as a drummer.
Jazz group?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if I can still do it.
Gee, that's
Okay,
good.
a couple of triplets,
That's
just to
good.
show you I can still do it. Now I used to play drums, and I had a little mic right over there,
Yeah.
and I would do Sinatra, and because I was the drummer, I did my own fills. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
would do. It was just one of those things. Crash. One of those crazy things. Trip to the moon. Gossamer wings. Just one of those. But the best impression of Sinatra that I've ever done is of his friend Julie. Wants me to do no. The best no. The best impression of Sinatra that I used to do that actually thrilled people. Mostly Jewish men of 51.
They're thrilled.
Yes, they were thrilled with it. Was an impression of Sinatra singing "America the Beautiful."
Oh. How's it
Because
sound?
Frank treats everything like in a Sinatra-esque way. And if he were doing Deutschland, Deutschland über alles, it would still be with his style.
Yeah.
So here's Sinatra singing "America the Beautiful."
Okay.
Picture me smoking.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for, listen to this word,
Okay.
for purple mountain majesty above tutti frutti plain. Ooh, America, hey, America, God shed his grace on thee and sort of kind of crown thy good with a big fat gang of motherhood from sea Scooby-Doo to sea, well, you know the tag, right.
Oh, God, that is so